Number 10. Ippo Makunochi Hajime no Ippo, the greatest boxing anime to ever exist and one of the greatest sports anime of all time. Hajime no Ippo is a classic show that simply bleeds the word underdog. This is because the protagonist Ippo Makunochi spends his entire time being the ultimate underdog in the world of boxing. Ippo is like that Boy Scout that would agree to help Girl Scouts bake fresh cookies. He is just too innocent. And with that personality in a face like this, there aren't many people or viewers that would take this guy seriously. But don't let that puppy face fool you. Ippo is more than capable of introducing you to the wonders of the vast universe with a single jab. His fluidity combined with technical skills and compensating strength makes him one of the most formidable fighters throughout the series, who performs with unrivaled consistency. Number 9. Hey, Darker Than Black. The title of this anime should give you a rather clear notice regarding the tone and the setting in which this takes place. Darker Than Black is a very, and I mean very dark story of assassins named contractors who have unique superhuman abilities which came to them when a spatial anomaly named Heaven's Gate appeared in the sky. Among these contractors is Hei, who is also known as the Grim Reaper, and this is what he looks like. A clear reflection of a nerdy exchange student who doesn't have any idea about foreign culture. Hei looks weak because that is what he chooses to be when he is not murdering people in cold blood. He hides his profile by looking like a nerdy scholar struggling to pay rent. Number 8. Yato Noragami. I mean, does this character need any introduction? When he first appeared on TV as the main character of Noragami, fans including myself did not expect anything from him. Sure, he was a god and all, but how he acted with others, his compassion, his personality, the cartoony expressions they used on Yato made him look more like a clown rather than a god. But we were all proven wrong when we realized that Yato was not just any god, he was the goddamn god of calamity. You know, things like tsunamis, earthquakes, hurricanes, yeah. Those are all Yato's department, and one of the things that the characters of Noragami have learned is that you simply do not piss off Yato because he can cause some serious damage if he feels enraged. Number 7. Kuroko Tetsuya Kurokos Basketball. You know how some game characters are glitched and they are just impossible to beat unless you pull some unbelievable moves? That glitch character, ladies and gentlemen, is Kuroko Tetsuya. Kuroko is weak, his shooting is not good, he can barely dribble, he can't even land a layup properly. But what makes this character overpowered is that his mastery of misdirection is simply unbeatable. I mean, his opposing team cannot see him in the court. He can pass balls like someone is firing a sniper rifle. He can pop anywhere between anyone within the court, so you basically cannot avoid his presence. But you aren't aware of his presence either. He is like an invisible wimp. Who isn't a wimp because he is invisible? If that makes any sense?
じゃ、彼はまさか元の影の薄さをもっと薄めたってこと？ミスディレクション、手品などに使われるテクニック。それによって自分以外に相手の意識を誘導する。つまり彼は試合中影が薄いというより。
Number 6. Psyche K. The Disastrous Life of Psyche K. The Disastrous Life of Psyche K is one of the more unique anime that you will ever see, and part of this is because of the uniqueness of the protagonist, Psyche. The anime is mainly comedy in the genre without any specific dark tone of seriousness to it. The pacing of the story is also very methodical, and throughout the story, we can only see itsy-bitsy parts of Psyche's abilities. But these small glimpses of powers shown by Psyche are more than enough for us to get the idea of how strong Psyche is. He can virtually do anything within that universe, but his powers, and mostly psychic and telepathic, based on his personality and daily lifestyle, you would have never guessed that a regular high school boy like this could have packed such a serious punch.
何十回何百回何千回と一度も勝てなかった。そして今日勝つ時が来た。楽しかったよクセを今まで。長ゼリフご苦労さん。おかげで時間が稼げた。え？Yep.
Number 5. Shigeo Kageyama, Mob Psycho 100. Enough about high schoolers, always taking the spotlight. Where is our regular mid-schooler adventure? Alright, we do have a proper mid-school adventure, but it is anything but normal. Shigeo Kageyama, aka Mob, is a third-year student in Sate Middle School and also the vice president of Body Improvement Club. This little guy. But don't let these cartoony appearances fool you, because there is a reason why this is called Mob Psycho. Because Mob can literally go psycho when things start to hit up. His powers are measured throughout the series in numbers from 1 to 100, similar to the one we see in the movie Lucy. And God help the villains when it finally reaches 100, because at that point, he is almost unbeatable and his telekinesis can cause massive destruction. Number 4. Sadao Mao. The devil is a part-timer. I mean, it is the story of the devil working as a part-timer in Earth. That is as weird as it gets. It's like the show Lucifer, except there is no partying, a lot less serious tone, and a devil that looks like Captain America before he received the super soldier serum after being driven away by a hero, Satan, aka the Demon Lord. aka the devil, makes his escape through a portal into the human world, a world without magic where he cannot access most of his powers. In order to hide his identity, Satan takes the disguise of a human and goes under the name Sadao Mao and starts working a part-time job with the goal of becoming the ruler of Earth in due time, via a corporate ladder. Yay! Fun!
貴様には俺の聖剣をくれてやる。ほら、変態天使。神に許しでも来い。神よ、迷える子羊を救いたまえ。
Number 3. Kirito, Sword Art Online. You might be guessing how Kirito makes this list because there are times where he got his ass whooped and got thrown around like a ragdoll. But at the end of the day, Kirito always wins. You just don't realize because the writers do it slow. So slow that you won't see it happen until it has happened. But seriously, at first glance, Kirito looks like he could be mauled by a bunch of 10-year-old elementary school bullies, but this little guy can wield 2 powerful swords, and in a one-on-one situation, he barely loses. His plot armor is thicker than his girlfriend, and considering how his nickname comes from this guy, you know, Kirito is more than capable of flooring anyone in the Sword Art universe. Number 2. Saitama One Punch Man. Does this guy even need an introduction? I mean, in modern times, there is barely anyone that has not watched or at least heard of One Punch Man, and Saitama is the heart of all this love. His character is presented as a huge joke that it earned the studio some serious money. That is how low-key his character looks and feels. I mean, an egg-headed guy with a rather lean body in a yellow suit with red red glove certainly doesn't speak hero, and given his attitude and personality, no one would have guessed him to be overpowered at first glance. But Saitama is the very definition of overpowered because come on people, all it takes for him to get the job done is a single punch.
以上です。先生。
腹減った。飯だ飯。
Number 1. Meliodas, 7 Deadly Sins. Even now when I see this character, I find it hard to believe that he is the Demon King candidate and potentially stronger than the Demon King himself. The power scale in 7 Deadly Sins is way higher than you see in a regular fantasy anime. And even amongst these crazy characters, little Meliodas here stands out as the strongest there is. At first glance, he looks like a lost kid who has disturbingly ripped physique. And then you come to know of his perversions, which really doesn't give you much hope on how strong he is. But then he surprises everyone, revealing himself as the captain of the 7 strongest knights to ever walk the earth, and the prince of hell itself.
You spineless fool! You think I'd let someone like you stand in my way after all this time? I'm coming, Sir Zeldris! No, stay back!
So, that was our list of tricksters with flimsy appearances but overpowering strength. If you think we missed a character that deserved the entry, then do let us know in the comment section down below. On that note, we will see you on the next video.